Okay, here we are for another round with zombies. We won the die roll. We're gonna keep this hand. No Crypt Breaker or Concoction on one, but that's not that big of a deal. Like, having a Copter on the play is just so good. Kind of defining play of Standard. Like, it's almost impossible to... it's possible to race it, but it's almost possible to, like, out... It's just so consistent. Like, it means you're gonna have a good draw no matter what. And I have an Amalgam to crew it up, too, which is super nice. I like seeing Prairie Stream. That means that there's no way that my Copter is going to be Grasp of Darkness or Harness Lightning here. Not drawing too well. Hopefully we can draw out of this a bit with our Copter. I do have a Grasp. Ugh. What is happening? Oh, I should discard an island. What is happening today with my land draws? It's just brutal. Now if he's got a Reflector Mage, I might just lose on the spot. No Reflector Mage, no Reflector Mage. Okay, alright. That's nice. That is really nice. He didn't have a Reflector Mage, so we're still in it, but might be tough against the Gideon if I don't draw any other sort of pressure. Come on, man. It's just sick. Huh. Just not even fun. Just the epitome of unfun. My first 5 draws this game were lands. Alright, let's focus. Let's just focus. I can at the very worst grasp the Copter. I could grasp Spirit now to play around like a Spell Queller, but I don't want to let him have the Copter online the entire game. I'm just going to try to go for it. Gross. That is so gross. Well, sorry guys. I'm legitimately demoralized. What was a completely functional draw turned into a broken draw, which is quite disappointing. I think I'm going to take this. Gideon ally of Zendikar. Okay. Yeah, not looking good. I needed to play something in case he had a Gideon. Now I'm just way too far behind the Gideon. Just a tad too late. Attack Gideon. Would have been completely okay to have had that before, but I guess we don't, so let's play with what we have. Crypt Breaker is fine, because it's a spell that I can cast. He could smartly not animate the Copter, and then it's really mana inefficient for me. Let's grasp that. I suppose I could still win. Like, drawing Crypt Breaker is nice because it lets me have a pretty big tempo play here. Like, I'll get everything in play, and we have a Copter and he doesn't. And we can also start attacking with our Amalgam pretty soon. Though, if he's got an Avacyn here, that could be an issue. Let's see how he attacks me. Probably everything that's not the Selphus Spear, and I have to take it all. Ooh, looks like he probably has an Avacyn right now. I think I'm going to force him to play it, though. Seems crazy not to. It makes my potential to win the game a bit higher. because we're going to have to draw on our upkeep. I'm going to have to hit a Grasp of Darkness, I think, off of Crypt Breaker. assuming he goes for the sack, which he might not actually, because I could draw grass, but since I'm hellbent, it makes sense that he would. So Grasp of Darkness could win us the game, potentially. Nope. Actually, am I dead? I'm not actually dead. Because it kills his other creatures, so if I can draw a Sinister Concoction... No, that doesn't do it. So say if I could kill this, I could potentially maybe kill both, but... I needed one more card in hand to do that. Brutal. If I had that Haunted Death the turn sooner, that entire game would have been much, much different. Alright. Sky Sovereigns, Counterspells, and the Ruinous Path. Take out 2 Scroungers. Sinister Concoction, Just the Wind, 2 Lilianas. I actually think Liliana's pretty bad in this matchup. They're very rarely playing Spirit on turn 2. Like they're always going to play a Copter instead. And they know I have Liliana, and they're very aggressively alting their Gideons. And Liliana is just not a good draw in the mid game. I think we're going to cut this for that. That's going to be it. I have toyed with playing Kaladesh in this matchup. They just have like Rebuff and Reflector Mage, Spell Queller, Stasis Snare, so they just get up mana on the deal a lot of the times. Monarch Demon is a little risky when I'm boarding out Planeswalker, because it's a lot hard, and Enchantment, it's a lot harder to get that Delirium. I think this is fine. I think this is a keep. I don't have another creature for the Copter, but I do have an Amalgam to discard. Well, actually, no, I think this is fine. We're going to have to find another creature if we want to compete in this game. But once we do, we're in pretty good shape. If this was like a Choke to Statuary, I think the hand would definitely be a keep. But if I draw any land, I can just play the Amalgam. That's the key to this hand, is that I can just hardcast Amalgam pretty comfortably, assuming I draw a land at any point. Which we're very good at drawing lands, so I believe that we can do it. Though we're the same thing as last game, where we could, if he goes Copter, we are very susceptible to our Reflector Mage. And play out this. If he's got a rebuff, it actually is kind of annoying. No? Alright, that's good. Probably going to discard the other Copter. I could discard Swamp, but the second Copter is just very rarely good. And if he's got Stasis Snare, he can probably just slam it. He's got Stasis Snare or Reflector Mage. It's just really bad for me to keep the other Copter, I think. Which, if he didn't have a 2-drop, I would say it's pretty likely he's got one of those cards. And just the second Copter does absolutely nothing. We can draw a creature. Nice. That's a good draw. I guess the second Copter could potentially help me beat a Gideon. But right now, I think I am going to be okay against the Gideon. More or less. I could discard the Amalgam, but I think I'm going to discard Swamp. I could just grasp this right now to play around Spell Queller. And if he's got Gideon. If he's got Gideon, I kill it assuming I draw a land. Which I might not do. I think we just pass. Because he plays Gideon, he might attack with his Reflector Mage. And I'd much rather him counter my Concoction with the Spell Queller than the Grasp, which is another reason why I think waiting is good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grasp that. If we draw a land, we can kill the Gideon. We don't. Not really the end of the world. I guess I could trade the Scrounger for the Knight. Which isn't that bad, because I could mill a creature with the Sinister Concoction. Gideon is just such a problem for this deck. Every time, it's like, I'm terrified of the Gideon. Like, Avacyn isn't really that big of a deal. It's Gideon. Possible I was supposed to just hold up Spell Shrivel and do nothing. But that seems like a kind of a weak play, considering Gideon just dies if I draw a land, and he doesn't always have Gideon also. I don't like not looting, because I want to get rid of this stupid Sinister Concoction, I think. Could just play Amalgam and attack with both. This trade is kind of inevitable, but the Scrounger is almost better in my graveyard. Yeah, let's do it. If I draw into any creature, it's pretty good. Draw into Haunted Dead. I am for mana efficiency, just going to play the Concoction out. He's obviously going to snap block, I think. Having that Haunted Dead is nice. It's possible I should just not play the Concoction, actually. Because my rest of my hand's actually really good right now. So I actually don't know if I made the right play or not. But if he just makes a Knight and holds up mana, that's like what I kind of want him to do, because I have the Spell Shrivel. So I can just animate Copter. If he's got Avacyn, I have the counter. If he's got Stasis Snare, which is more likely. Looks like he's going to attack. Okay. I like that. I don't want to have to slog through a 2/2. A Selfless Spirit. So I could pitch my hand to ensure Gideon dies, but then I don't have Spell Shrivel. I think my best play is to just use the Concoction to kill the Selfless Spirit. And then when he tries to Stasis Snare my Copter, I'll Spell Shrivel that. Looks like we milled a Flagship, which is not a creature, unfortunately. Looks like he might have a Snare here. I think I'm going to go ahead and animate the Copter. Attack Gideon. I guess it's possible he doesn't have a Snare, honestly. We're just killing the Gideon. Could also have a Spell Queller for a chump. So which card is better in my hand? Is it the Murder? I think it probably is the Murder. He doesn't have that much in play where... He doesn't have that much in play where I'm afraid of an Avacyn, because I can just murder it. Though I don't want to necessarily show him the Spell Shrivel, but I'm probably going to need to use it or loot it away at some point. It's possible because I have the Spell Shrivel in my hand. Actually, I'm supposed to just let him chump. That hadn't really occurred to me, honestly. I could have just let the guy chump. And then I would have had a counterspell for something like that. End of the second main phase. I think... Would I rather have the Haunted Dead in my graveyard or none of these cards in my hand? I think I'd rather have none of these cards in my hand. Or sorry, these cards in my hand, rather. I probably should have played out my Copter? This is fine, I guess. Crypt Breaker's a good draw. Allows me to get in for 6, 9 damage here. I guess 7 if he chooses to chump. I still have the murder. So yeah, actually, it didn't occur to me. I could have totally just passed. Looks like we have an Avacyn. Ooh. Yeah, I don't really think I had a great way of playing around that. I think I just have to murder that because he can crew the flagship with it next turn. And if I kill the flagship, the Avacyn is going to flip, so let's murder it. Not great because he gets to pick off my Copter, but he's still going to 8. He's still going to 8, and he's hellbent. But yeah, this whole game, this whole situation would have been... See, that's the kind of play that like separates somebody that's really good and like somebody like me. Like the obvious thing is just to get the Gideon off the board, but I have Copter, a 3-power flyer in play. I don't really mind. I don't really mind Gideon like being in play for one more turn. I can just kill it on my next turn, basically. And he's just chumping with a Spell Queller, and then I have Spell Shrivel up, you know? Like, I don't really... Like, I don't think there's anything he could do. Especially because I have Murder. I can murder a creature end of turn, too. Or untap with a Spell Queller. I just don't think there's... Ooh, Spell Shrivel's a good draw. I could attack with the Crypt Breaker. Anyway, I think that it was probably right to... Okay, he just scoops. Spell Shrivel makes it so he can't win. Alright, game 3. But anyway, if I make... that would just be such a smart play. I'm just sad that I missed it. So he does have Flagship, which isn't surprising. It's possible I want another concoction. It's funny how Scrounger kind of won us the game, though we sided it out. Though we didn't really want more than one. To be fair, I think we're just going to run this back. I don't really want any of these other cards. Liliana's really bad on the draw. Yep. Let's go ahead and see if we can seal game 3 here. If I beat blue-white again, I'll be pretty happy. The last daily I played, at the Star City Classic, I actually lost to blue-white, but twice. Both times I played against it, but in the last league I played in, I beat it twice. And I think it's favored, like the blue-white deck is a bit favored. Yep, always Copter. I think the blue-white deck is pretty favored, but it's not like that much in their favor. The biggest problem is just Gideon. Like, the games where they play Gideon are very hard to win. Selfless Spirit. Okay, that actually works out for me because I have Grasp. Boom. No land. Okay, we could actually just get there this game. I think I'm going to kill this on my main phase. Should I discard the Haunted Dead? Or land? Like, Haunted Dead is actually not bad to hardcast on this board. And if he's got Spell Queller mana up next turn. If he doesn't hit a land, he'll crack Clue. I'm just going to discard land. I think that's a safer play. I don't really want to discard 2 more to just get the Haunted Dead in play. When he doesn't have the Selfless Spirit, I don't even really want the zombie. Ooh, he didn't hit a land there either. So I think I'm just going to play Demon. If I don't hit creature, and I take 4 damage, I'll be really sad. Okay, we hit artifact and creature. Didn't hit any goodies. Opponent's stuck on land, so we might just get there. That's what's nice. Sometimes, like, they keep the 2-lander and you can kill their copter, and then it's just game from there. There's planes. See, that's kind of why I wanted to maybe lead with Haunted Dead. If he's got a Stasis Snare, or a Reflector Mage, I'd much rather play Haunted Dead. Because I have the clue, I actually am going to play out another land, I think. I'm actually not in that demanding position. Like, if he gets a Gideon into play this turn, that could be problematic. Which it just always is. I think I actually have to murder that. Draw a card first. Spell Shrivel. Yep. Opponent didn't play third land, and we're still going to easily lose this one. That's kind of hilarious. I think the trick to my deck is I think I absolutely just need more. I need more answers to Gideon. Though I think I actually messed up. I think I should have played the Haunted Dead. I should have absolutely played the first Haunted Dead before Declaration in Stone. Land would actually be okay. A Ruinous Path? I could almost awaken that. That's kind of funny. Let's kill that Gideon. I'll Spell Shrivel that. Though I don't love my spot. Had to play out all these lands to do this, and now like I don't really have a great play. I think I am going to trade this off. Yeah, I wonder what would have happened if I would have played the Haunted Dead first. Like, his Declaration Stone is just bad, because I get a Spirit as well. I think I'm just going to play out my hand. Pass. Can actually block Avacyn on this board, which is nice. It's gonna hard to beat. It's gonna hard to beat 4 cards. Okay, feels like a Stasis Snare. I think I actually make that trade. Because he's just going to Stasis Snare my Smuggler Copter on combat anyway. The fact that he pre-combat this makes me know that he has Stasis Snare. I like that play is just never right, people. Like try to trick your opponent. That could have been really good last turn. I think we're just dead. Shows you how poor this matchup is. Like oh god. I think that if I play the Declaration in Stone, or sorry, the Haunted Dead first, I might have won. He probably would have had a Stasis Snare for my Mindwreck Demon, maybe, but he might not have. I'm just dead, right? I have no outs. I could draw like Voldaren Pariah, I guess. So I have to not block. And that's game. If I counter this, he knows I have nothing in my hand. Sure. I guess the trick was when he hit his lands, he hit them every turn. So it's almost like he wasn't that screwed. I'm just dead. I have no outs. Oh, he lets me untap though. Can draw like Grasp. All right. Beats. Blue-white got me.